If you are on the top, you will also deduct the flight. Why do some games make you on the top, while others feel like scratching after school without feeling good? What is the bottom of it? The answer to the puzzle of why we always complain about the poor sense of blow and the sense of blow is hidden in the research and development studio. Starting today, the developer behind the scenes series will take you to follow the development team of Yuanguang 84 into these cutting-edge technologies and uncover the design behind the game. Are you ready? What is coming may drastically change your cognition. To understand the sense of shock, we must start with an astonishing fact. What you believed was a shot was an illusion. An illusion constructed by 17 systems working together seamlessly in 0.1 second.
The sense of impact is very important for a shooting game. It is actually a positive feedback for the player when the weapon is fired and the bullet hits. For example, it has vision and hearing, and even some games will do some tactile feedback. This real-time feedback on the damage caused by the player every time.
This 0.1 second illusion is the cardinal rule of impact design. It takes the human brain 13 to 80 milliseconds to process visual input and 20 to 40 milliseconds to process auditory input. If the feedback is not accurately designed, the player will immediately rush to something wrong. Let's put it this way: if you hit a nail with a mallet, and if you hear a bang after a while, then you must think there is something wrong with the hammer, and the same is true of the game. Even if it is a delay of a few milliseconds, the player will immediately complain, and it feels very fleshy and procrastinating, but it is far more complicated than imagined to score the impact perfectly. To solve this problem, the production team designed a set of three-dimensional sensory system and included the creation of sensory impact through visual effects. The interactive interface using logic layer to enhance spatial cognition can guide the focus of attention. The first dimension is the sensory enhancement of visual effects.
The human brain may make adaptive brain supplements to what it sees and hears. For example, in special effects, we will use more new elements. For example, the element of lightning is used when hitting the shield, which makes everyone feel that there will be a feeling of current when reaching this shield. For example, when hitting snow and fog, we may do some bright layering. For example, at the moment of knockdown, he may have a sense of contrast from light to dark, which makes the player feel some cool.
The visual effects of this whale shark are even more sophisticated. The main explosion occurs rapidly, exaggerates and distorts briefly, and the soft weapons disperse slowly and accurately, conveying people's ability to vanish from life. See.
The duration of the burst effect is particularly particular. Less than 0.5 seconds, netizens feel that this is more than 2 seconds, but their attention runs away again. The effects of these things actually happen within a certain period of time. It cannot be too short or too long because it is too long. If it is too long, the website should be careful that it may be completely taken away by this effect. If it is too short, the website may not notice this market, so we may try our best to adjust multiple versions to adapt to the time difference effect.
The second dimension is spatial logic. Based on visual impact, the team developed a directional feedback system. When hitting the head, the whole fog sprays upward to the side. When the whole fog faces the attack direction, the whole fog faces the attack direction. This is not about simulating real physics, but about reinforcing the causal defects of the brain.
I still hope that when every bullet hits the enemy, there will be a hit feedback for each shot. Because we are a long PT game, we want to give the player enough sensing during continuous motion.
What's more subtle is that the distance compensation algorithm has no effect on normal acupoints when shooting from a long distance, because the distance will appear very small and the player will doubt whether it has been hit, while the distance compensation algorithm will use a magic curve to calculate that the farther the distance, the more exaggerated the effect. It can be said that physics no longer exists.
In fact, we can see it in our game, but do we hope that the enemy whose destiny is 500 meters away can also see it, for example, about 200 meters? We will have a curve and then zoom in on the corresponding sports special effects. Its maximum zoom size may be 2 times. It sounds outrageous to zoom according to the distance, but no matter how far the player is, he can immediately know that I hit it.
The third dimension is the interactive interface. With visual impact and spatial logic, the team faces the last challenge: how to make the injury figures not only convey information and become a source of satisfaction. The production team hopes that the damage is intuitive and what you see is what you get, and can deliver enough information in milliseconds, which...
Actually, I don't have blood sugar. There are many kinetic effects on our blood strips, and then we have done bleaching, which can make people feel that you really exercise until its phytotoxicity won't be harmful, such as the head, such as armor, such as blood volume. It has certain Miaoyuan rules. For example, when you hit the head or some corresponding special phytotoxicity parts, we may make it turn yellow. The rest, so when it comes to the control frame, the stroke of the armor is its armor level, and then when it comes to snow, it may be a red second edge. This kind of cognition is reflective, and it has positive and negative effects.
Speaking of the counter-meeting of the Zhengfa Association serial killing icon, it is even stronger. Employees gave up the short-term serial killing reward in 84 and focused on the cumulative sense of accomplishment. From Isha to 6 kills, create a sense of accomplishment through light effects and movements. Keep the player at the top forever.
The trend of killing 6 drugs is more than 3 times stronger than that of killing 1. In a game with a length of 77k, there will be more moving bullets and guns than in a short game today, so what we need to do is how to make many special effects happen at the same time, and many sound effects happen at the same time. Therefore, we can make me do special effects from time to time, but there is a certain residue in a time field. But the sound effects may have to solve this problem logically.
If the school is a type with a sense of impact, then sound effects are his soul, a recording studio designer at Yuanguang 84. He studies how to integrate the sense of blow with self-judgment, tactical judgment, and emotional rhythm.
I think sound is very important in games, especially for VR-type games like ours. In fact, players can completely locate a position to the bottom and an approximate position through sound. The sound not only tells you what happened, but also makes you feel what I have achieved.
The sense of accomplishment is divided into 3 levels. The sense of hunting, the sense of conquest, the sense of domination, the first level of hunting. The sound of bullets striking flesh need to evoke the primal hunting satisfaction in humans.
Like the sound effect of concentrating the flesh, you have to have the pleasure of accurate hit.
The biggest problem is that because we believe that all audio textures are realistic, the frequency band will be relatively full. So if the repeated gun hits the enemy, it may cover the sound effect of the hit feedback. Therefore, we will solve this problem in the future. I have also customized a set of different pressing curves for Meba guns so that players can press the frequency break of firearms when they hit the enemy. In this way, it can better highlight the feeling of a hit feedback of each gun hitting the enemy.
The second layer of Conquest has the best mutual squatting and breaking sound effect. The bright glass breaking sound is paved with low-frequency elements. This combination retains the earliest impact feeling, thus enhancing the psychological pleasure.
I can list it as a hit feedback design with a relatively high upgrade, which is to design a brighter frequency band for players, especially in the process of melee, and the psychological hint for players will be stronger, so we added some glass opposite materials as well as some synthetic attachments to do some faces, and then our purpose is actually to hope that when the players hit the enemy continuously during the melee, they will get a pleasant feeling and refreshment psychologically. That is, we hope to bring it to the players through this voice. One is that I still want to continue to hunt a psychological hint of him.
Hearing the sound of pew means that you hit the body and knock down the enemy. And when the low-frequency Sen Yun hit the eardrum, congratulations on the headshot knockdown of this machine, which is announcing the strong release of the sense of conquest to you through sound effects. The third layer of ruling gratitude sound. This is Shepherd, because the street is the acoustic technology that creates eternal satisfaction. 3 sets of different 8-degree scales superimposed can create an infinitely rising listening experience, so that the player's feeling of killing will be pushed to a higher level every time, never reaching the peak and never decaying.
This method was previously utilized in the movie Dunkirk to create a suspenseful atmosphere. Because this scale can give players a psychological hint, indicating that this gloom is a sound sense that rises infinitely. So we hope to use this scale to tell players that they can kill enemies infinitely in the game, thus generating psychological a sense of satisfaction.
But here's the question, what will happen if all kinds of sound effects erupt at the same time in a fierce battle? The answer is catastrophic senses and continuous sound effects are superimposed, which will confuse the brain. If you eat too much sugar, you can't taste the sweetness. Too much sound will also make the Sky Harbor disordered and even numb the team. The solution is to cool the mechanism with a fast firing rate. When firearms continue to hit the target, the hit sound effects will be quickly superimposed and played in a short period of time, which will lead to disordered listening experience. A special cooling machine is added to ensure the clarity and rhythm of listening.
In fact, there are about 60 people in our game, so if these 10 people are triggered at the same time due to gunshots, skill sound effects and footsteps, then the sound in the game will be particularly chaotic at this time, so we have added a lot of dynamic mixing designs. For example, we added call and intercall. According to the different angles of the enemies shooting and the different avatars of a group of players, we did some targeted sound filtering to deal with the sounds outside the field of vision of a group of players. We lowered some of his priorities, generators and volume to ensure that the sounds within the limited field of vision of a group of players were clear enough.
While pursuing perfect impact, optimizing Yuanguang 84 is a continuous effort. From initially simple issues to intricate sensory design and advanced technological implementation, Yuanguang 84 continually enhances auditory sensory experiences. It is dedicated to achieving excellence in this journey.
After enjoying experiences at my home, we focus on the significant eggs underfoot. Anticipating more feedback helps enhance these striking details.
Heartfelt thanks to all Jueguang for supporting Yuanguang 84. Everyone is welcome to join our summer test and provide invaluable feedback. I express my gratitude once more to all participants.